Ellison Onizuka. In our current challenging times, we reflect on Ellison's inspirational words. The people that make the world run, whose names will go down in the history books, are not the cynics, the critics, or the armchair quarterbacks. They are the adventurists, the explorers, and the doers of the world. When they see a wrong or a problem, they do something about it. When they see a vacant place in our knowledge, they work to fill the void. And today, we will do just that. Aloha to the SS Ellison Onizuka. Northrop Grumman is go for launch.
And a copy, we're go to proceed with final countdown, check 407.
¿Cómo están? Aquí estamos un día más emitiendo un nuevo lanzamiento.
Step 408, we go to start engine evacuation.
LC Ops 2, engine evacuation started.
And you just heard the poll to proceed with the final countdown to launch, and all teams are polling a go. And of course, a tribute to Ellison Onizuka, who this Cygnus spacecraft is dedicated after.
Hace un tiempito que no transmití un lanzamiento yo. Nos sentamos en tiempo -10. Le pone esta otra cámara. No, esta. Pero habilitamos 6.
Now coming up on
ahí, ¿no?
smoothly for launch at 5:01 and 5 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:01 and 5 seconds p.m. Eastern Time.
Passing T-minus 10 minutes.
Ahora sí. Arreglado. No.
Once we get to that launch time today, the first thing that will occur is the stage 1 ignition, and you'll see liftoff just a few seconds after that, and those main 2 engines will burn for about 3 minutes and 18 seconds before cutting off, and stage 1 will separate. Cygnus will coast for a bit until fairing separation, when the external cover that protects the spacecraft during launch will separate. The interstage adapter that connects the first and second stages will separate at about 4 minutes into flight, and then stage 2 ignition, which is that solid rocket fuel that will burn for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Once the second stage burns out, we'll be listening for a call of orbital insertion at 6 minutes and 52 seconds after launch. The vehicle will coast for 2 minutes before Cygnus separation at 9 minutes and 9 seconds after liftoff. And at the time of launch, the International Space Station will be flying 260 statute miles over the southern Indian Ocean.
ACS VDMs enabled, voltage nominal, ODM commands clear.
And a copy all, check 410 and check 411. Step 412 not required for today's operation.
Now just about 8 minutes and 30 seconds to launch. Again, that next milestone we'll hear will be for the vehicle to be turned to internal power at 5 minutes out.
And we're at T-minus 8 minutes.
LC flight control, GN2 conditioning initiated.
And I copy GN2 conditioning initiated. Passing T-minus 7 minutes.
Now, inside 7 minutes, you've been hearing teams running through some of these final milestones, and the internal power has been activated. Again, it'll be switched over to internal power at the 5-minute mark.
Okay, copy. And when you come back up in 4 minutes, will you be ready to roll?
Hope so. Stand by.
Okay, copy that.
LC prop lead, VTSO activation verified.
Roger that. Check 414, Ops 2, initialize ground ordnance power supplies.
LC Ops 2, ground ordnance power supplies initialized.
Ground ordnance power supplies nominal.
Check 415 and 416.
Estamos en tiempo -6.
LC Site Control, Aft Bay ECS transfer to GN2 confirmed.
Copy that, Site Control. Check 417.
Tiempo -5, vamos.
T-minus 5 minutes. Ops 2, you're go to initiate engine priming.
Engine priming
Tiempo
started.
-4 minutos.
Ops 1, transfer avionics to internal power.
LC Ops 1, all internal power on. Standby 5. And all external power off.
Priming verified.
Copy that. Check 426 complete. And TD, I'll wait for your report on range status.
LCTD, we are green.
Copy, range green, check 425. Step 427, not required. Phase 3 dynamic limits will be active at T-minus 3 minutes.
FC commanded to flight mode.
Check 429.
Auto sequence start.
LCTD, we're green for all systems. Green for all systems.
ODM bus voltages and currents nominal.
Copy like one, and I copy. TD, we'll check 430, 431. GNC 1, verify ready
2
for
minutos
nav.
con 40, vamos.
LC GNC 1, orb nav ready for nav.
Ops 2, step 433, switch to nav.
LC Ops 2, orb nav, switch to navigate.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to launch, still counting down to that exact liftoff time at 5:01 and 5 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:01 and 5 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Tanks will be pressurized at about the T-minus 40 seconds until liftoff, and we'll be counting down to liftoff from there.
T-minus 2 minutes. Mark. Passing through T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Se viene, se viene. Estamos en tiempo -1, si no me equivoco. O menos. A ver. No está el temporizador, pero andamos ahí. Déjenme que me fijo acá en el móvil.
T-minus 1 minute. Mark.
20 segundos. No, un minuto. Un minuto. Justito pusieron marcador y lo sacaron.
"40 seconds until liftoff."
T-minus 30 seconds. Mark.
$10 segundos.
T-minus 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Launch.
We have engine ignition.
Main engine start. And we have liftoff
Wow,
of the
increíble.
Antares for the NG-16
Increíble.
mission, the Wallace Flight Facility. Engine set 100%. Attitude nominal.
The SS Ellison Onizuka now on its way to the International Space Station to deliver more than 8,200 pounds of cargo. Good first stage performance so far.
AV and power subsystems are nominal. NG-16, all systems are nominal. Engines at 100%. Duration of stage 1 burn is approximately 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Currently at 65 seconds. Passing through 40,000 feet, passing max Q.
First stage now passing through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Again, this first stage will burn for about 3 minutes and 18 seconds until main engine cutoff.
All subsystems continue to perform as expected. Passing 70,000 feet. Mission time plus 110 seconds. Engines continue at 100%. Core pressures nominal. All vehicle subsystems nominal. Passing 120,000 feet.
2 minutes, 20 seconds into flight, everything still proceeding nominal.
1 more minute. Attitude nominal. All G&C performance as expected. And Terry's performance continues nominal. Throttle down to 80%.
Throttling down 3 minutes into flight, main engine cutoff coming soon.
Meco.
Throttle down
Apagó el
to
motor de la
55%.
primera etapa.
All systems nominal. Stage 1 MECO.
We have main engine cutoff and Terry's entering into a co-stage, standing by for stage 1 separation.
Then stage 2 ignition.
Stage 1 separation confirmed.
Yo no veo nada. El cielo me está mostrando ahí, el vehículo no. No hay cámaras on board, o al menos por la información que tengo, no hay cámaras on board. Pero me parece que hay una animación.
Fairing separation.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And we have stage 2 ignition. Stage 2 will burn for roughly 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All systems continue nominal.
Bueno, ahí está el centro de control, pero animación, algo.
Stage 2 ignition is confirmed. Stage 2 is that solid rocket fuel that will burn for about 2 minutes and 45
Ahí,
seconds.
animación. Bueno.
Burnout will come at 6 minutes and 52 seconds into the flight today. And as we lose sight of the vehicle, we're now switching to animation.
4.5 kilometers per second. Altitude approaching 140 kilometers.
Now 5 minutes into flight, everything proceeding smoothly.
Stage 2 burn continues, all systems nominal. Approaching 150 kilometers in altitude. Stage 2, all systems are nominal. Approximately 1 minute to stage 2 burnout. Altitude 170 kilometers. All systems continue to perform as expected.
Bueno, por lo menos tenemos el apogeo, el perigeo, la velocidad que va de está en millas, los kilómetros por segundo, la altitud actualmente del vehículo, en qué etapa está, o sea, qué etapa es la que está volando, en este caso es la segunda etapa, la inclinación del lanzamiento y por dónde está yendo, me parece que es aquello que está allá abajo, y una animación del vehículo.
Stage 2 burnout. All systems nominal.
And stage 2 burnout is confirmed.
Series will coast for approximately 2 minutes till spacecraft separation. Antares is in orbit. Altitude nearly 180 kilometers.
Apagado del motor de la segunda etapa.
Attitude nominal.
Me di cuenta de porque acá estoy buscando otra información sobre el lanzamiento.
Attitude nominal. Antares continues to orient and prepare for spacecraft separation in a little more than 1 minute.
Hay un poquito de música de como para cuando no abran que se escuche ahí.
Altitude 179 kilometers. Roughly 30 seconds to spacecraft separation.
Standing by for spacecraft separation.
Bien, ahora sí.
attitude nominal.
Separación de la carga.
Spacecraft separation. Go Cygnus.
Spacecraft separation confirmed, and Cygnus has separated from the second stage. And Northrop Grumman teams now celebrating the confirmation of spacecraft separation.
La cápsula Cygnus CRS-16.
Okay, launch team, let's maintain protocol on station here. We're in our post-launch checklist.
Bien, el lanzamiento fue exitoso. Ahora hay que esperar que se acopla dentro de 2 días, si no me equivoco. Déjenme de que busco aquí a ver cuándo se acopla y a qué hora.
State vector.
LC-GNC-1 in work.
And I copy in work. And site control, step 446, you can remove aft bay GN2 flow and reconfigure ECS to post-launch.
In work.
Bueno, está estimado que se acople.
Step 447, direct personnel to power off BMS ground equipment and report complete.
Horarios por definir.
Yeah, copy that, LC. We'll get that in work once personnel can return.
Déjenme que voy a buscar bien.
And right, same thing for 448, understood.
With that confirmation of successful orbital insertion, Cygnus is now on its way to the International Space Station, where it will arrive in 2 days on Thursday, August 12th, to deliver more than 8,200 pounds of cargo. Back with us now from Northrop Grumman is Antares System Engineering Program Manager Christina Holona. Christina, what will the Northrop Grumman teams in Dulles do here on the ground between now until Cygnus arrives to the space station?
Yeah, so the Northrop Grumman teams in Dallas have quite a few things that they'll be doing. So they operate the Cygnus spacecraft basically now that we have been released from Antares rocket. So from separation,
bien, acá tengo los datos a las 7:10 de la mañana de acá de mi país, de mi ubicación. Quizás se puede estar a las 10:10 UTC. Es a la hora que está estimado que se acople el 12 de agosto, vendrá a ser el jueves. Estamos ahí en 2 días, jueves.
We'll have the solar array deployment as well that will be happening here with you soon here in about an hour and a half. And then they'll also be planning and executing various maneuvers to change Cygnus's orbit to rendezvous to the ISS. So that'll be continually changing throughout their maneuvers to get to the laboratory. And then there's also vehicle system checkout. They'll be continuing to monitor the spacecraft as well to make sure it's healthy and everything is looking great on the spacecraft. And then at the end, they'll finally perform vehicle configurations to perform the final rendezvous as they arrive to the ISS.
And looking forward to Cygnus departure in November, Cygnus will perform some secondary operations. Can you go over some of those?
Yeah, so Cygnus actually has 2 secondary mission objectives for this NG-16 mission. After it departs from the International Space Station, there's one that is a passive payload from NASA called CREPI, and it stands for Kentucky Reentry Probe Experiment. And the payload will be loaded into the pressurized volume of the Cygnus with the disposable cargo items. And then the other payload is Purple, which is short for prototype expired payload. Purple is a Northrop Grumman built payload and will be tested and calibrated on while Cygnus's burst to the ISS. And the Purple payload actually requires 23 days of operations following departure to perform data collections and data downlinks. So we still have those 2 missions to complete after we are unberthed from the ISS. So Cygnus has a lot of work of it ahead until here in November.
Thanks, Christina. Again, we are looking forward to welcoming Cygnus to the International Space Station, and thanks again for joining us.
Of course, thank you.
And now joining us is NASA Systems Engineering Integration Office Manager Jeff Arend. Jeff, how important are these resupply missions in terms of the continuing resupply of this station and the science they deliver to the crew on board?
So I guess first off, hi, Courtney. But these commercial resupply missions are very important to continue the advancing science on board the station. Over 3,000 experiments have been conducted during the station's lifetime, which we're now coming up on 21 years of continuous human presence. On this flight, Cygnus is packed with more than 3,700 kilos of supplies, research, technology demonstrations, and hardware. In the tech demo category, we're really excited to add a four-bed CO2 scrubber.
La verdad que ha
It's an
estado muy
upgraded
bueno.
version of Seadra, which is our primary CO2 removal
Bueno,
system on board.
los espero al siguiente
And for
lanzamiento,
hardware
que no
upgrades,
sé si
we're
voy a
equally
poder
excited to
estar
be flying the third IROSA mod kit, which will enable a
el
future
12
solar array
para ver
upgrade
el acoplamiento,
in the future.
pero de seguro estoy
All
para
right,
alguna otra
and what's
misión.
ahead for the
Voy-
crew on
voy-
station
voy a
once
estar ahí.
Cygnus arrives in terms
Para el
of
acoplamiento no
capture,
sé si
cargo
estaré.
operations, and science?
So the Cygnus spacecraft will arrive at Space Station in a couple days, Thursday, August 12th, at approximately 5:10 Central Time. NASA astronaut Megan MacArthur will be primed to capture the spacecraft with the Canadarm2, and she's backed up by ESA astronaut Thomas Pesquet. Following capture, the flight controllers in Houston will command the installation of Cygnus on the Earth-facing side of the Unity module. Will it remain for about 3 months. The crew will stay busy unpacking and conducting these research activities with the first several days being extremely critical for several experiments. The ones in particular are cardinal muscle, anti-atrophy, and cell gravesensing. The crew will also be preparing for a future spacewalk to install the mod kit on the P4 truss to prepare the station for that future solar array upgrade that I mentioned earlier. In addition to upgrading the ISS power, these arrays are also helping us prove the solar array technology that will be used on the gateway around the moon with the Artemis program. So overall, very, very exciting times for us.
Bueno, gente, nos reencontramos nosotros en el
Exciting
siguiente
indeed,
lanzamiento.
Jeff. As
Espero que
always,
les haya
thanks for your
gustado
time and thanks for joining us today.
Un directo un poco
Appreciate it,
corto,
Courtney. Thank you very much.
porque bueno, porque acá, por obvias razones. Pero bueno, nosotros nos reencontramos en el siguiente directo y nos vemos. Hasta la siguiente. Adiós.